I've had a lot of opportunities in my life, and I want to give back to the community.
Hey, Gen Max, that was Zaida that you just met, and we're going to be talking a lot about her life and the opportunities that she had in her life, and now how she is giving back to the locals here in La Paz. Because as retirement comes, I mean, there's this fear of being bored and like not knowing exactly what to do. But I think a lot of people have skills that they've learned and developed over their entire life. And there are opportunities here to help the locals. And so we're really going to hear about not only Zaida's life, but also a little bit about the life of locals that she is helping. So that was the quick overview, but we're going to start back early on in Zaida's life to get a little bit of her story, because you may be looking at her and think that she's maybe looking like she's Mexican, but she's not. So let's hear about the beginning for her.
Yes, people think I'm Spanish. I'm like a chameleon. I can fit in anywhere, but I'm not. I'm South African. My family was able to come to Canada in the 60s because at that time, the apartheid in South Africa were separating families. My mother was colored and my father was white. So we had opportunity. My dad was a teacher, and there were 12 families that came to Canada together. And they chose Winnipeg because it was the center of Canada. Coming from South Africa to Winnipeg, don't even ask. Don't even ask. I love fashion. My mother was a seamstress, so I always had lots of great clothes to wear and hair. And my hair is naturally curly. And so whenever I went to the hairdresser, they always botched it up. They didn't understand. So I wanted to become a hairstylist. And my gift to the world was going to be that I would never make anybody look stupid. So I had to be the best. So I moved from Winnipeg to Toronto at the age of 14. I lied about my age. I was told I was 16. I apprenticed for 2 years at Vidal Sassoon, and then I worked for them for 10 years. And after that, I went to Dublin, Ireland, and opened up Ireland's first hairdressing school. I say 53 years I've been cutting hair, doing hair. Retired now, had so many opportunities to travel, to work in films, in theater, magazine covers, magazine layouts, hair, everything. Every facet of the profession I've experienced and always had amazing times.
Zaida is definitely one of those very interesting expats with a lot of story behind. I love hearing the stories of different expats and what they've gone through in their life and how they got to this point. And actually, the way I met Zaida was through her. She was living with Terry. There's a video with Terry in one of these corners. And so she was a neighbor. She was actually a neighbor of mine just up the street when she came to La Paz. So let's get a little bit of the transition from Canada down to Mexico.
Yes, so I retired 2017 and went to the Philippines, did some service work there with the Salvation Army, and then COVID hit. And then I came back to Canada, and it was February, cold. So where can I go? Where can I go? So Mexico was still open. And I got to La Paz thinking that I was going to be in San Jose del Cabo, but I didn't realize it was 2.5 hours away. And so it was interesting how I got here. And so my first thought was, well, I had a great apartment in Centenario, a great casita. And my first thought was, I need to find a church, because that's really important to me in my life. To give back, to service, be part of the community. So I found Destino Cristiano, and my pastor Jamie invited me to come. And it was such a great place because there was that day was a gender reveal party. So there was cake and coffee, and everybody was enjoying themselves after the service. And so I got to meet a lot of people, and I felt really comfortable.
So I am not a church person, but it is really important to find community once you find a spot in a new a new country. Pickleball might be my closest thing to church. I have a really strong community there, but there's a lot of opportunities to build community. And churches can be one of those things. And this is a bilingual church. So Zaida mentioned that she found it on Google looking for bilingual churches. And actually, just now, as we were filming this, the pastor of the church walked in. So let's meet Jamie really quick before we go back to hearing more of Zaida's story, because we're right at that point in the story where she goes to lunch with Jamie.
Hi, I'm Jamie. A lot of people know me as Pastor Jamie, and I'm the pastor of a bilingual, non-denominational church here in La Paz, Mexico. And my husband and I came here about 10 years ago to start a church, but also to be a help to the community, because we believe that the church is part of the community. And so we don't just want to build spiritual people, although that is obviously the main goal of a church. But part of building people's lives up, and part of caring about people is about caring about their personal lives and caring about helping them to make more money and have a good life. But the thing is, we started the church about 10 years ago, and right now we have a church here in El Centro, La Paz. It's a bilingual church, and so we preach live in Spanish and English, so people can come and learn the language as well. So we have a lot of different people from a lot of different places here. Very enjoying the cultural aspect of the church. Mm-hmm. And the assimilation of it's a way to assimilate into the culture as well. And so I'm now the pastor of the church. My husband did pass away several years ago, and so I'm now the pastor of the church. But he left a great legacy and a vision for establishing a beauty salon or beauty services here, because he was a hairstylist and had the heart to teach and train people.
So I always forget to ask you guys to subscribe. So I'm throwing that here in the middle. If you're not already subscribed, please click that. It would be really helpful for me to grow this channel. And if you're on a TV, you can use this QR code over here, and that'll help you subscribe.
When I got here and I found my church, and Jamie, the pastor, she took me out to lunch, and we tell each other stories and how we got to where we are. And Jamie told me about her husband, and she planted the seed. And so, my Spanish wasn't very good, so I studied Spanish for a while and just got the school started. I got some friends that shipped down some equipment and brushes and combs and scissors and stuff like that to start the school. And now, here we are. And I'm so blessed that I've got, students that are excited about the profession, and they know what they can achieve and how their life is going to change, and just the joy. Because for me, 54 years of doing this, every day I went, I just played. It wasn't work, I played. I spoke to people, I was able to travel. It was just I played, and so it wasn't work. So that's the kind of energy that I want to give them, so that they can enjoy their life. Because, there are many sayings, I'm not going to go into it, but enjoy your life. Find a passion.
Definitely find your passion. Find it in the US, find it in Canada, definitely find it in Mexico. But I want to dig into those students, and hear about who they are, and kind of like what's possible for them, or what their life looks like and what it could look like.
It's a 6-month course, and after the 6 months is done, they will go to apprentice in a salon and decide what they would like to do. So the students that I've got are basically from the church, because that's where I announced it. So I'd like to get it out into the community too, so that this opportunity can be for anybody that needs it or wants it. We're here 5 days a week. It's a very intense course, and I'm a little bit, I can be hard because I'm a bit of a perfectionist because of my training, and to give back to the community. So the girls are not girls, they're young women with children. I've got 3 females. Well, I'll tell you about one student. She goes to work at nighttime cleaning at Siriano's. And then she comes directly here to school. So she is so dedicated. She's got 3 kids. She's divorced. Hard life. It's a hard life. And so, she really gets what this opportunity is. And my other student, someday she wants to open up her own hairdressing salon and hire the people from the school here. So this is the first year that I've done it. I'm really enjoying it. We go out to the recovery centers and we cut the hair there, and get people introduced into options, that they have options, that there's, more to life. So we go to the men's recovery places because we do men's hair too, and women's, and it breaks my heart that there's not such great opportunities. So for me, this is a gift that I can give because I love it.
So really in Mexico, the minimum wage is $15 a day. And some of the other videos you've seen how prices are going up. So typically people who are single with kids live with their parents, and that's the case here. And Zaida mentioned working in a grocery store doing cleaning, and that's like 1,500 pesos a week. So that's less than $100 US a week is a typical salary. So the opportunities are pretty limited when you have kids and you have a full-time job, and there's not a big path forward out of that. There are a couple hair schools here, but they can be expensive. A lot of people, it's kind of like a trade that you pass down from generation to generation. And so if you don't already have that kind of foot up, I guess, you might not ever get it. And then your kids might be in the same boat of, just not having those opportunities to present themselves. So it's great for these women to jump in with as much work as they are doing with being parents and full-time workers. So, and then full-time students at the same time. But let's talk a little bit more about, money and what that could look like, or how things might be working for them.
Yes, the benefits for this profession is enormous in comparison to what they make now, the minimum wage. They can make 1,500 pesos a day easily. They could work out of their home. They could work in a salon. They could go to people's homes to do their hair there. There's so many opportunities for financial betterment. So, I'm so proud of these women that are taking this on and understanding the value of it and what it could mean for them, their families, their children, and themselves too.
So Zaida has spent her whole life in the world of hair. So my challenge to you is to determine what it is that you have in your life that you could share with others. I think Zaida is very committed. At least 5 days a week, she's here teaching these women, and really, that's a big lift. So what is it in your life that you can contribute back? Now, for me, for instance, I'm a video guy, and I'm about to next week do a video with someone in La Ventana, a local. They're working on some issues around the ocean and keeping the ocean clean and restoring the fish and stuff like that. So that's something that's really pretty easy for me to do, is to pop out a video for a nonprofit. So that's some way that I can continue using my skills. But I'm wondering, comment down below what your profession is and what it is that you might be able to give back in Mexico, in the United States. But there really is a big divide here between the haves and the have-nots. And quite frankly, if you're able to get your temporary residency in Mexico right now, you are one of the haves, just because the requirements are very high now. And it is something, there's definitely an impact that extranjeros or foreigners have when they move here. So I'm always looking for ways that people are giving back and sort of like improving the lives of the locals here, because we can have a negative impact, especially on those that don't have the ability to work with the foreigners. This is great what Zaida's doing, because these women she's also teaching them English. That's not something she mentioned. She's learning Spanish, they're learning English. And actually this church here, this is a great way to learn English, but there's a lot more opportunity as you start to work in the salons. If you speak English, you can work in a salon that serves the foreigners, and the what you can charge is much higher because of the income levels. So there's a lot of opportunity that these folks are getting, and it's so great that Zaida has passed on and kind of recognized the privilege that she's had in her life and passing it on to others.
Yes, so for me, living here in La Paz, I'm very blessed and very privileged to be a temporary resident, to be able to get my residencies. I have an amazing apartment. I just love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. My passion is being used for these women and men if they want to have this job also, because there's a lot of men hairstylists out there and the women love them.
So if you happen to find yourself in La Paz, you can come over here and get a no-cost haircut, but tipping is greatly appreciated. It really helps to show these women the potential of what this career can bring. So, and if you're here in La Paz and you know someone locally, maybe someone who's cleaning your house or something, someone who this would be a really great opportunity for them. There is no cost to the students. Everything, Zaida is volunteering her time, the schools or the church is providing the space, and volunteers are donating the stuff. So there's, opportunities for you to get your haircut, for you to refer someone, or for you to donate to.
Yes, so for me, getting all this stuff together, a lot of friends brought stuff for me from Canada, and people have donated here some scissors and combs and capes and stuff. And we use a folding chair to cut hair and put pillows on if we need for the, shorter people. And so through Club Cruceros, the marina, they have a program where they donate money to organizations or to the community. And I put in to have a hydraulic chair, which would be amazing. That would, be so much better for our backs in the long run. So the donations through the church and everybody that comes and enjoys this opportunity.
So there's links down below for all of that great stuff. But right now, if you are interested in checking out another video, I've got Heidi from Club Cruceros. Her and her husband live on a boat here in La Paz. There's a video with them. And down here is another video that would be perfect just for you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Zaida. Hasta luego.